Hey everyone, welcome to the very first live episode of Fire Drill Podcast. So this one's not going to be quite the same as it usually is. It's just going to be me solo. That's Gwen. I'm one of the co-hosts of Fire Drill Podcast. I am super excited to start doing this live because I love talking to people. This is like the best thing ever. So, I'm really excited that people can join me and we can do this. All right. Sorry, I'm looking for my phone. It keeps mumbling at me. So we can do things together, which is like the best of Fire Drill Podcast because you get to talk to me and I get to actually talk to you because normally it's just me talking to you and you talking back. You can't hear me. So this is the best thing ever. Hey, so we got people. All right. Yeah, so you can see my ATR 2500 for now, but I do have this sweet new Shure mic that I really, really want to be able to use, but I need to buy some stuff for it. So if anyone wants to buy it for me, let me know. Haha, just kidding, but really though. Okay. So, hey, Cody, what's up? And Claudia, yay, so many people, so many friends. I love you guys. You're the best. Okay, so, first we save the world. No, okay, just kidding. Okay, so we are coming up on 500,000 downloads. And I don't know how much of podcasting you know, but 500,000 downloads in 1 year is huge. Like, ginormous. So we're very excited and we are so grateful. And we want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts for listening to us and making it possible because literally none of us can do it. We can't do it without you. So we're very grateful, but we're like this close to getting 500,000 downloads, like so close, but yet so far away. So to hasten this up, we're going to have a fun contest and I can't wait to share it with you. So excited. Okay. So first let me get into everything. Yeah. Tim Ferriss is the man. He's super good at monetizing stuff. Thank you. You guys are the best. This is so awesome to see live comments come back into this. This is amazing. Okay. So obviously this is my first time doing this live. So bear with me a little bit as I get my feet on the ground and figure out what works best and what doesn't. So this is going to be a weekly thing every Tuesday at 7:30 Central Time because that's where I am. So why not Central Time, right? Every Tuesday at 7:30, I'll be live. I hope for a whole hour, but potentially maybe shorter than that, maybe longer than that. Who knows? It definitely won't be longer than that today because I have to record a couple episodes tonight. So that's going to be really fun. But I basically want to do like some updates at the very first section. Yes, Jay is staying anonymous. I want to do some updates on the podcast and what we're working on and what we're doing. And then we're going to get into the contest for this episode. And then sometimes we're going to have a special guest on that is going to talk to us about what's going on with their lives. And you get to see me and the guest hang out, which would be super fun because I know a lot of you guys like hearing us talk together. And so this way, this kind of gives you a way to participate in the conversation that we're having without just yelling at your car dashboard, I guess. So they'll join us for a special section of just like, hey, what up? And talking back and forth about some stuff in the FI world. And then we'll do a Q&A section. So you guys helped me out big time with the Q&A today. So thank you. I can't wait to get to these comments. Ooh, yeah, maybe I could make it an event. That seems actually a really good idea. I should definitely do that. Note to self. Do that for next time. So next time I'll do an event, and that's a good idea. No rock, paper, scissors for my mic, okay? I already won once. I'm not going to push my luck. So, Okay, so we went over the format and everything, and that was only 6 minutes. So time to get down to business. I was going to say something before we can't do that. That's OG's thing. Um, so next I got completely derailed from what I was saying with the event because that's just a good idea. Why didn't I think of that? It's a great idea. That way you could have a link. So amazing. All right. Anyway, mind blown. I'm going to have a bit of tea to regroup. Okay. So, anyway, like I was saying, you guys like to participate, and this gives away to you participate. And yes, Eric is kicked out of this room for the live broadcast, which I think is super funny. But he can handle it for an hour or so. He's all right. And I am guessing that, yes, occasionally he will be a featured guest, which would be fun because then we can do it live in person. For those of you who don't know, Eric is my boyfriend. So also a blogger and podcaster in his own right. So don't let me fool you. He's not riding my coattails. All right. So this giveaway, I'm super psyched for this giveaway. And if I was slightly more prepared, my books that we're going to give away would be right in front of me and not over there. He's not kicked out of his own house. He's just kicked out of the room. Jeez, I'm not that harsh. Let me go get those books really fast. Just kidding. That wasn't the stack of books that I thought it was. All right. Anyway, we'll edit that out for YouTube later. He's not behind me. So, okay. So anyway, this giveaway. I have got a bunch of different things lined up for that you can do. 4 points. So the more points you get, the better chance you have of winning. And we're going to pick from the people who get the most points. So if you do all of the activities, you get more points. And we may or may not be finalizing the contest and all the things that we can do for that. So be sure to check back in. It's running for 1 week. So it starts today at 8:00 Central Time. So in 20 minutes, it's going to go live. We're going to start it. And then you guys have the opportunity to do things. It's super easy if you're already a super fan for us. So it's things like following us on Facebook and following us on Twitter and potentially retweeting a tweet. I'm not sure if that went through or not. Subscribing to our YouTube channel. That would be huge, especially as we look to add more content to that now. Let's see, what else was there? Potentially a demographic survey, which would be useful for us for knowing what to do later. So that's going to go live. And the top prize is a $50 hair gift card to Amazon, which is basically the same thing as cash nowadays because who doesn't buy things off Amazon? So super excited that you could win $50 on us as a thank you gift for saying thank you for being a super ultimate awesome fan. And thank you for listening to us for a whole year. We're coming up on a year. It's so amazing. Okay, so first prize, $50 gift card. Second prize, 3 books, which I can put in the comments later because he shoots just scores. I can put that in the comments later because I do not have them in front of me, which just seems like a gross oversight. I don't know why. Sorry. I'll be more organized the next time I do this. It's my first time. Be gentle. So 3 books, which are all super relevant to the self-improvement, personal finance world. They're very interesting. We're clearing stuff out of the house and thought these might be a good prize to give away. And then third place will be a Fire Drill Podcast t-shirt because I know they're a hot commodity. Haha, just kidding. And they're super awesome. You should want one because they look like this. If you can see the hair, you see past the hair. So third place would be, no, not 3 doll hairs. 3 books, not bucks. 3 books. 3 books. 3 things that you can open and read with words on them that people wrote. Sorry for not being super duper clear. I had a lot of caffeine earlier to stay awake and be pumped. Deep breaths. Okay. So yeah. So first prize, Amazon gift card, $50. That's $50 to spend. 50. Second prize, 3 books to read that are in the personal finance and or self-improvement space, which I will detail later because they're not the ones that's sitting on the desk that I thought they were. Sorry. And then third place is a Fire Drill Podcast t-shirt. So to sign up for that, I am going to share the link. 3 books written by bucks. Actually, they might all be written by dudes, I think. Anyway, not the point. The point is that in 18 minutes, you can go to firedrillpodcast.com/contest. I believe that's the link that I sent up to redirect to our awesome contest that we're hosting. Let me just double check that for sure. Yeah, look at that. Boom. It looks great. Contest starts in 16 minutes. Haha. And you can be notified when it starts, which is super awesome. So how do I add a comment to this? I'm using a new program. It's called BeLive.tv and it's super awesome. Hey, look at that. All right, well, that's the unfollowed. That's the unpretty link, I guess. So let me just move this for. You wouldn't believe how fast I can type Fire Drill Podcast now. There you go. That's the one that I'm talking about. firedrillpodcast.com/contest. It starts in 16 minutes. We're excited. It lasts for 1 week. So it will end next Tuesday at I don't know, probably at the end of the next broadcast so I can still hype it up for a little bit longer. So let's say like 9 p.m. Central Time next Tuesday is when it ends. I will modify that before we get too far into it. So, wow, we have 26 people here. This is so awesome. I love this. All right. So we got people from Denver and we got people from Brooklyn and we got people from DC and California and Pennsylvania. Where else are we all coming from? Because I think this is so cool that we can tune in together from all across the country and all across the world. So sound off and let me know in the comments where y'all are from. So that way I know. Yes, I can restate what the contest is for people who are late. So the contest is to celebrate the fact that we're getting 500,000, we're coming up on 500,000 downloads in less than a year, which is ginormous in the podcasting world. That is super amazing. Hey, Seattle, Phoenix. Oh, wow. Okay, so many comments. Phoenix, DC, Alabama, Ohio, Seattle. Amazing. Columbus. So many people. This is great. So the people who are in DC, y'all better be hanging out together, just so you know. So this contest is for people like you who listen to the podcast, and you can do all sorts of fun things like follow us on Twitter and follow us, like us on Instagram. I don't know what the correct term for that is. Instagram. So, I Can't Fly Southwest. That was this weekend. Awesome. I hope you really enjoyed it. So now that I've been interrupting myself again and again and again, sorry, people. You totally should do a Fire Drill watch party. That would be amazing. It's for you. And you can win lots of fun prizes like a $50 Amazon gift card, a couple of books to read that will be super helpful. And then you can potentially pass on to somebody else, share the love. And then also a Fire Drill Podcast t-shirt because they're awesome and super soft and super wonderful. So this is all for you because you guys are great and you listen to us and it was amazing. So I am going to get to some of the Q&A that people had sent to us in the into the group earlier because I asked for comments and questions, and people responded. So that was amazing because I'm not gonna lie, I was a little worried that I'd just be like, so anybody have any questions? And then it would be like crickets, and I'd be like, okay, cool, well, we're done. But that's not how it worked. So yay! Thank you guys for asking questions. Let's see here. Okay, so Danielle says, what is one financial life optimization hack you use now, but that you wish you would have known about sooner into your fire journey? So I definitely wish that I had started house hacking earlier because that is an amazing way to lower one of your biggest expenses, housing, and not earn necessarily some money, but like, again, lower your major expenses of housing. In my case, it added to my bottom line because the house was not the greatest to buy. But yes, house hacking. That's the one I wish that I knew. Maybe also Turo, but that didn't really exist when I started FI. I really like the idea of renting out your car to strangers. I feel like that would be a great way to get to have a nicer car and get some use out of it, because I would feel bad about buying like a brand new car and then just me using it to go back and forth to work or whatever. But with Turo, then you can share resources and less people need to buy cars, which is better for the environment all over. So if you have any comments, you can put them in the comments below and I will see it. And I'll intersperse those with the ones that I got earlier from the Facebook group. I do not pimp out my car now because I don't think a 2005 Pontiac Vibe with stains all over the seats and 180 some odd thousand miles would be something that people really want to drive on vacation or something. So I'm not pimping my car out, but I don't think that it hasn't occurred to me to get a new car and pimp it out on Turo. Because that would be one way I could justify having a new car. And that would be great as long as, again, somebody else paid for the expense of owning it. Although maybe putting the miles on it wouldn't be the best, but whatever. So I know, so somebody said people have done that with the Tesla Model S. And that would be like my dream, is to get a Tesla and then let other people drive it, because then I could drive it and it would be amazing. But I only drive like twice a week now, so it's not really worth it to do that for me yet. Okay. Samira asked, if you could live anywhere in the world right now with no financial limitations, where would you go? I think I would probably go somewhere in Europe. I really enjoyed my time in London, and I would love to explore places like France and Belgium and Switzerland, which are like kind of expensive. So I think it's just somewhere in the European area in general, because there's so many countries that you can visit and so many things to do in a small geographic area that would be my ideal. Either that or Australia, because I really loved going to Australia. But let's be honest, it was hella expensive. So yeah. Can't go back for a while, but maybe someday. Maybe someday somebody will pay me to go and write about exploring Australia. That would be amazing. Okay, so next question. What's the biggest financial mistake you see your peers making? Ooh, thank you, Chase, for the question. I see a lot of people buying more car than they can afford. Going back to our comments, nobody else wants to have a Pontiac, even if it's vintage. They want something new. So yeah, I would say buying more car than they can afford, having like a $300 or $400 car payment a month. That takes up a lot of money in your budget that you could otherwise be saving. I would also say probably living in nicer places than they probably should, or not living with a roommate. I know that's something that I did for longer than I should have. But yeah, doing something like, or thank you for the beer thing, going out all week like going out on Thursday night and Friday night and Saturday and maybe even like something like Wednesday happy hour or something. Like that's an insane amount of money to be spending on alcohol, and it's so not good for your body. It's just right. Ain't nobody got cash flow for that. Ain't nobody. Um, yeah. So I would say going out all the time and not cooking in and spending more money than they have on cars. I also know people that have season tickets to sporting teams. And just yesterday, I spoke to somebody, one of my friends, who bought a timeshare. Yeah, that's right. They spent $20,000 on a timeshare. That's insane, especially when they have like almost $170,000 in debt combined with their wife. Like they just spent $20,000 and added on to that. So that hurt to hear, but I understood why he did it, just to get that guaranteed vacation time in. So different strokes, different folks. But if their goal is financial independence, they're gonna go a lot slower than otherwise if they didn't get the timeshare. So Patrick says, I'm curious how people are preparing themselves for the next recession. A lot of us were not investing heavily in '08 and have not experienced a major recession with major skin in the game, which I am, that's definitely me. I was in high school when the last recession hit, and so I was pretty sheltered from the major impact. Although I did have a lot of friends who their college plans changed once their parents' businesses went down the tubes, and they couldn't afford to go to their fancy, expensive private colleges anymore, and they had to go to like the local community college, which sucked a lot for them. But Erin Mildollar from militarydollar.com, she wrote an amazing post about what investing through the Great Recession actually looked like and how she got through it and her advice for that. So I will link to that in the comments as soon as I get that up and let you read that, because she doesn't really she says everything that I would have, and probably a little bit more eloquently as well. So that is in the question thread from earlier today if you can't get to this one. But basically, TLDR didn't read. She says, don't try to prepare to just write it out unless you're heavily invested in individual stocks, in which case going to index funds makes better sense. But basically, have a really big emergency fund and make sure you have a large gap between the money you have coming in and the money you have going out. So the more that you do to prepare now, the easier it's going to be when trouble hits in a recession, and the longer that you're going to be able to ride it out. So let's see here. Oh yeah, sorry for the timeshare. It was $700 in fees a year, which isn't super bad, especially if they take at least one vacation. He estimated that he spent $4,000 on vacation every year, and so he said a vacation for $700 isn't that bad. So however he wants to justify it, that's cool too. So so with this one, he has points. So somebody said, timeshares are dumb. Why would I front thousands of dollars and force myself to go to the same spot every year? This one isn't like your traditional timeshare where you like buy an apartment or rent out of an apartment. If you get the points, and since he is like an IHG Platinum member, they like triple every point that he gets. So he signed up, and you're supposed to get 100,000 points, and he got $400,000 points in the first year. So they can go basically anywhere those points are accepted, which are overseas, like in England and France and other places, or they can go different places in the U.S. I know there's a place in Wisconsin Dells that does timeshares like that, or they can even go to Disney, and you could even get your flights and tickets paid for through the points. So they're not just limited to one group, but yeah. Yeah, no, seriously. I almost asked him. I was like, so did you look on eBay to see if you could buy somebody out? Because they sell them for like $1 on eBay. So yeah. Anyway, done with the timeshare. I think it's eloquent. So you're welcome for the compliment. Airman Mill Dollar. Okay, so let's see. Nicole asks, where do I splurge and where am I thrifty? Well, obviously, I'm thrifty on the car. I have only limited liability insurance on the car instead of comprehensive full coverage. So definitely cheaped out there because I feel like I can buy myself a new car if I need to, if something happens to it, which there was totally an accident that happened in the lane literally right next to me as I drove by today. So I was like, oh, that could have been me. That's super rough. So I'm now a much better driver because I don't want to get into an accident and have to get a new car. So I would say that I splurge on like food and experiences. So I pretty much don't hold back when I go to a different place. Food wise, I am gluten free. So if I want to go to a good gluten free place, then I have to pay money for it, and more money than I would if it was not gluten free. So I've had some amazing experiences. I treated myself to a $200 high English tea with me and my sister and her friend. So that was amazing. And I probably won't ever do that again. But I'm really glad that I did do that because I now can say that I've experienced a proper English afternoon tea and it was delightful. So wonderful. So yeah, I definitely splurge on food and experiences and hopefully combine the two and have an experience for the food. So I'm a cheap foodie, I guess. Let's see here. Robert asks, what's the most popular thing you see people in tech blowing their high incomes on? Recurring expenses that they just don't care about. They have Amazon Prime, they have Hulu, they have Netflix, they have any other sort of streaming service, and all those little things just add up, and then it's like a bajillion dollars to your budget, which you have to watch out for the little things as well because they all add up eventually. So let's see, what else do I see people buying electronics or upgrading their cars every 2 years? They're like, oh, a new phone came out. I'm gonna get the latest phone and hang the $300 activation fee or whatever people charge. Phone plans are another good way to pay like $100 a month when you could buy or get a perfectly good plan for like $40 a month or even lower. You can do 15. I've seen. What are some other ways that I see people doing that? Yeah, just basically eating out a lot too. I think going back to the question earlier, I see a lot of people eating out. So that's just so expensive and it's not very good for you because restaurant food's packed with sodium and stuff. All right, tea break. This mug, by the way, I don't know if you can see this. Let me see. It says, ready for the next adventure. And one of the admin assistants that I worked with got this for me when I left my job. So I feel grateful, and I think of her every time I have tea in this mug. I'm drinking a peach tea, by the way, right now. So somebody asked, what are the best 40-ish month phone plans? I use Google Fi, and I love it because I get to use it naturally. Like I get to use it regularly when I go overseas because I've been covered in every country that I visited. Oh, hey. So far. And I actually had a European friend freak out and he's like, you can't use your phone. You're going to get so much money in fees. And I was like, no, it's okay. I can use it. It's just $10 a month per gig, no matter where you use it around the world. It's amazing. I did not go over those strategies yet, so hold that thought. So also Mint is a phone service that's pretty cheap, and Republic Wireless is the other super cheap one that I would recommend. I have friends that use it and love it. Okay, so Miriam asked if I went over strategies to use if your employer doesn't give a 401k or anything. Sorry that you missed the start of it. I'll make the time perfectly clear next time with an event, I promise. So if you don't have a 401k at all, you can do a Roth IRA, or even a traditional IRA if you want to lower that taxable income. even more so. um, but honestly, there's not a whole lot you can do, which super sucks. So just start a taxable investment account and pack money into that is what I would say to that. If anybody has anything else that they would like to add to that, definitely sound off in the comments, because I don't pretend to know everything about financial independence or finances. And I'm not afraid to say that I don't know. So this is an easy one, but Dylan asked what was for dinner. And so for dinner, which my boyfriend very lovingly made for me because I was busy getting ready, was a turkey burger with some chips and raspberries and tea. That was my dinner. It's pretty light, but I'm little, so I don't need too much food. Plus, I was a little nervous, so it's not like I wanted to eat a lot of food and then be like, later. Because even people like me get nerves when I do a new thing. So let's see here. Next question. Kevin says, how do you maintain the discipline required for the years to possibly decades that it takes to reach financial independence? I found the most helpful thing is to not lose sight of why you're doing this. So it can be tempting to take the money out and spend it on things, but you have to ask yourself, what do you want more? Do you have, do you want that thing more than you want financial freedom? And if the answer is yes, then go spend the money on that. But if the answer is no, I want to be free. I don't want to be tied down to this job. I don't want to be tied down to this location or whatever, whatever situation you're in that right now that is uncomfortable that you don't like. You just have to remember why you're doing it. Because it can definitely be tempting to just be like, well, I'm tired of being disciplined and now I'm going to go treat myself because YOLO, which I hate, by the way. I hate that phrase. So that would be what I would say is just like write down your goal, as stupid as it sounds, write down this goal and like put it on your mirror, put it in your car dash visor so you see it all the time. Like do whatever it takes to be reminded. Even set it as the background of your phone. Be like, FI time is 10 years. And then you can see it go down and you get excited as it goes down because your investments go whoop as you get more money investing. You cannot use iPhones on Google Fi unless you hack it, but I wouldn't officially recommend that as an affiliate. But I think you can use that on Republic Wireless or Mint Sim. One of the two accepts iPhones. They're out there. Trust me. They do exist. Let's see here. How to stay motivated as a newly self-employed person entrepreneur. Honestly, I'm struggling with this right now. And I just have to tell myself every day that I get to wake up whenever I want, naturally, when the sun rises or whatever. Yeah, use it as your passwords too. That's a great idea. Be like financially free in 10 or whatever. I struggle with motivation a ton because it's a long play, right? You're playing for the future and you don't see immediate results right now. And it can be really tempting to give up and just be like, screw this. I'm going back to work. That was easy. People gave me tons of money to do like little work. And here I am working my butt off and I'm not getting any money. And this sucks. So yeah, definitely struggling with that right now. But I just tell myself that the benefits are worth it in the long run. I'm location independent. I can travel pretty much whenever I need to or want to. I get to eat lunch outside every day when it's not raining. I get to take walks and ride bikes throughout the day. I don't have to wear business casual or business professional clothing, which is huge because I just get to chill in comfy pants and a t-shirt every day. So write down a list of all the things that are good about being an entrepreneur or being self-employed and like keep it around somewhere. I have a list. If I could share it, I would, but I don't know how to do that yet. I'm going to save that for a different one. So, yeah, that's what I would say for entrepreneurs. Just keep in mind of a long game, because, if you think about what it is right now, you're going to be super unhappy, which I also need to remember not to focus on because it's not super duper duper fun all the time. Okay. So Kaylee asked if giving back part of your plan for financial independence. Um, yes, to a point. I feel like I did a little bit more when I was working because I had the extra cash flow. Um, I helped out my sister, who is a missionary and travels all around the world. And so I helped support her in that endeavor because there's a point where she was going to get kicked out of her apartment if she wasn't able to raise more money. And I felt that I was being called to help her. So I've definitely offered money to family when they need it, when they're having a moment where they finances are tight. Um, so I definitely would consider it part of my plan in the future, but maybe not necessarily monetarily wise. Maybe mentoring people, volunteering, basically spending my time, which I could do during the day and not necessarily have to spend some money, which I'm like, thank you. Somebody just said you're going to be fine. And I hope so because it's been stressful. Somebody else said transitions can be rough. And let me tell you, that is so true. So rough. But I'm strong. I'll make it through it. Got it. And then Kaylee also asked, normally at the end of an episode, we ask what people's wildest dreams are. But she asked what my wildest nightmare is. And I think that my wildest nightmare would be to be trapped into an abusive relationship and have no money or no ways, no means of escaping from said relationship that's abusive. So that makes me super nervous. I've had friends and family be stuck in that situation. And I really wouldn't want to experience that. It doesn't sound fun at all, and it fundamentally changes who you are as a person. So I would say that that is my biggest nightmare. And I'm not going to end this on such a downer in a moment because that's kind of a downer question. Or my answer is a downer anyway. So then Dylan asks, what is my next potential money making plan? So right now I am working at a local stained glass studio with a local stained glass artist, and she's amazing. We have a great old time when I go there. Today I got to play with a pug puppy and get paid for it, so that was amazing. But that doesn't bring in a super lot of money, and that's just kind of like a stopgap. So we have plans to monetize this podcast. Hopefully, all of those will go well. We've already done some, and that's worked out pretty well so far. So I would like to continue to see what we can do for this podcast. I am starting a financial plan coaching consulting business. So people who have paid off all their debts and they don't know what's going on next, I would like to help them get to that next level of starting to save for FI. Figure out if they need to do a debt repayment, a debt payment plan. What should they be investing in? How they like if they have a plan, what does it look like? So I would really like to start that. Right? Somebody said, "Oh my gosh, I'm just going to suggest something like that." There you go. People email me all the time for help, and have been more than happy to provide that help. But now I have lots of time and no money. So hopefully I can spend that time to get some money back for that. If you are on that list of my email, you already got another email, or you got an email announcing the soft launch. So if you're on that, just hit me up. If not, I think it's going to go live sometime next week or the week after that. I sell my rental property, the Dingle House. I sell that in 10 days. Yay! So I don't have to worry about the house anymore, the dumb Dingle House. I don't have to worry about that anymore, causing me money. So I'm reading the comments right now. And so, yeah, it's kind of like a virtual money gym where you can get financially fit. I like that. Somebody asked as well, do you need any accreditation certification for something like that? I'm going to say no right now, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to change my stance on that and go get some sort of certification, even if it's just like a coaching certification. Um, yeah, Shannon, she's amazing. So I would like to help people get financially fit, even if they aren't around in New York City, because they do really great work. So there's definitely a need for it. Um, and then also live breaking news. You're the first people to hear this. All 25 of you. You are amazing. I'm in the middle of planning out a book. So lots of people have told me they want to read what's going on in my life since I've quit my job and started this FI life. Although I wouldn't say that I'm particularly financially independent right now because I'm still pretty dependent on earning money to pay my bills. But people have like, yeah, no, that sounds really interesting. I'd like to read a book. I would like to read the book when you write it. And multiple people have said to me, I know, right? Shut up. I'm writing a book. It's true. So I am going to get that started soon. I have the outline written. But I've been doing research by reading my friends' books because I have really awesome friends who have already written books. And I've been reading them for market research. So I definitely consumed The Year of Less by Kate Flanders in like 2 hours because it was an amazing book. How to Be Baller by Gwen. Yes, that's going to be the title. Maybe the subtitle. So I'm just kidding. That's not going to be the title. And then I also read Mrs. Frugalwood's book again, Meet the Frugalwoods. A book writing mastermind group. We could explore that together. That's an interesting thought. And then I also have a call scheduled next week with a friend who is a very well-known author now. So she's offered to help me out, and I'm going to figure out if I'm going to go to the self-publishing route, because I attended a session at Podcast Movement with the self-publishing school guys, and they seem like they know what they're talking about on how to self-publish your book. Or I might shop around and see if I can find a label who will publish my book, which would be really cool. But that would provide some income as well. So that is what I have got coming up next. Oh, thank you guys. I'm getting so much support in the comments, and it's making me really happy because like 6 people have said that they would buy my book. So that's at least $6 that I could get for this book, which would be amazing. Tentatively, no, you know what? I'm not even going to tell you what it is tentatively titled because that's probably going to change like 8 million times. Just know that it's going to be amazing, basically, because I'm awesome, right? Mr. Fluffy, my cat, somebody asked just where he is. He is banished from this room because God only knows what he would get into while I'm trying to record, and he would be super distracting. So I have kicked him out of the room, but maybe he'll make an appearance for the next time. So don't forget, in closing, I'm going to wrap this up. I know, I'm sorry. I have to get going. We have to record soon, and I have to prep for that as well. So notes to selves for next time. Watch out for the somebody just said I think that my book would be more than $1, and I totally agree. It would not go for $1, maybe $2. So next time I'm going to put out an event for the group so you can add it to your calendars and get noticed. So that's going to be awesome. Look out for this once a week, Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. Central Time, which is 8:30 Eastern Time and 5:30 PST. So look out for that. This episode is going to go up on YouTube on Thursday. I might do some light editing just to make it clear, make me sound a little better, even though it's probably fine, but I'm a perfectionist. So that's going to go up on our YouTube channel on Thursday. So make sure you're subscribed. And the more of you that subscribe, the faster we can monetize the YouTube channel and bring in some more dollars there, which would help out immensely because I am earning no dollars. And then don't forget the contest is actually live now. It's been live for 16 minutes. So definitely go and participate in that. And sign up for all of the things. If you already have signed up for all the things, then it's going to be super easy for you to just click buttons and be like, you're already subscribed. Ta-da! And I can't wait for somebody to get $50 just for being an awesome person and listening to our podcast, because we love you and you're amazing. And we feel like you should get a little bit of recognition for that. I promise. Okay, here's my promise to you. So somebody actually said, never actually heard the story of how I retired early. So I have not retired early, and I promise to get into the story next time. It'll be the first thing that I talk about in next week's live episode. If you would like to submit a question for next week's episode, somebody just asked in the comments, I will have a thread on Monday that you can put your questions in for the next day. And then I can organize them neatly by category and have it a little bit more cohesive instead of jumping around from topic to topic like I did today. Although that might be a little entertaining for people. So that is what I will do for next week. So thank you all so much for tuning in. I thoroughly appreciate the support from all of you. You guys are the best and you rock. And I'm super happy that we got to do this. So look out for me next week. Until then, have a happy and productive week. See you later, everybody.